Forward TV. The world is thinking.
Tom, we're here at Bester Plaza. What's unique about Chautauqua?
It is a completely singular experience. There's nothing like it on the face of the earth. David McCullough declared that a number of years ago, and it's really true today. It is an emergent experience, a brigadoon that comes alive every year, and people from all generations, from literally all over the world, gather for an experience of community that is devoted to art, education, religion, and recreation, and the intense sort of human and intellectual exchange that goes on with all of that. It's very special.
In addition to being a place that's also used as a noun by some people as Chautauquas, what's the tradition for what a Chautauqua was way back when?
Chautauqua was founded in 1874 by two partners, John Hyle Vincent, who was a bishop in the Methodist Church, and Lewis Miller, an inventor out of Akron and the father-in-law of Thomas Edison. And they came together around the creation of what they thought would be of service to people who needed to teach others in a continuing education mode. So it's really the origins of continuing education in the United States. Had an explosive impact on American social thought, and remains the most significant lecture platform in our country.
Is there a history to this kind of a platform for public speaking? Are there historical precedents for how this kind of event takes place?
I think probably the agora sort of image coming out of ancient Greece, the sense of a community that comes together around its civic discussion, that in that context of community and civic discussion also engages in questions of the arts as a way of understanding the human condition, and but their sense of the liberality of education, the body, mind, and soul, is very much in the heart of what happens here.
You can't help but notice it's a very intergenerational type of experience with people of all ages and kids playing. And what is it that someone would experience if they came here for the first time and spent a week here? What's a typical week like?
Oh my, it's we produced 2,200 events in 9 weeks, and the place can be as passive an experience and as pastoral an experience as you want it to be, or utterly intense in terms of going from one event to another. There's ecumenical worship service first thing in the morning. There's the lecture platform at 10:45. There's special studies classes, some 400 classes that address something like 8,000 students in our time frame here, covering a whole range of topics, from the whimsical to the profound. There's also activities for children. There's a children's school for 3 to 6-year-olds, and a Boys and Girls Club from 6 to about 16. The Boys and Girls Club is largely bonding kind of experience and recreation. We're on a lake. It's a gorgeous lake. And the children's school has more of a pedagogical drive, early learning. We have schools in the fine and performing arts, so 300 young people compete to be part of that program, and they're in a combination of instruction and performance. So people are engaged in their rehearsals and their performances as well. There are community events, gatherings of community that occur around spontaneous and sometimes not so spontaneous. Community band, which is a volunteer activity, gathers in this very plaza around the 4th of July, and people are out in this grass area with picnics and kids, and 4 generations of a family all sort of mixed in. Those kinds of things are great. In the evening, we've got our symphony performance or a popular performance. Last night there was sort of Sinatra music. Tonight it's chamber music. Tomorrow night is our dance company opens. Friday night there's a little rock and roll. Saturday night our Chautauqua Symphony Orchestra kicks off what is, in just under 8 weeks period of time, 21 concerts without repeating a repertoire.
So this is the first of 9 weeks for the season, and in my experience here, many people proudly refer to themselves as a Chautauquan. When they refer to themselves that way, what's the profile of a Chautauquan, and why are people so proud to come here year after year?
There's sort of an intellectual and moral earnestness. I think it's the most common property of Chautauquans. They come through those gates into this property, and I think in doing so they drop other labels and other protections that are there in our normal life, you know, where you'd reject certain ideas or you wouldn't take a chance on certain art forms, or if you disagree, you disengage from discussions. And here there's an overall atmosphere in which people take risks in their intellectual life, in their spiritual life, in the engagement they have both with ideas and with art and also with other people. There are remarkable conversations that go on in this place among people who, up until the moment they start the conversation, are utter strangers. And that's not always the case, but those kind of conversations are also marked. There's an elimination almost of automobiles and traffic in that sense. There's also very little commercial activity. So the literal commercial intersections of this place are about education and art and religion and recreation. It's a place where I think people find themselves connected not only to themselves but to ideas. And the complexity of ideas is not disrespected here. It's not glossed over. You're invited in. So in that sense, it's not a final statement. There aren't white papers that conclude what Chautauqua says about something, but rather doors that are open for further study, further conversation, a broader sense of what we should know about things.
Tom, how long have you been here, and do you have any favorite memories?
I've been here for 23 years. This is my 24th season at Chautauqua. I was recruited to work the development program, which I have done, and then a whole lot of other things. And I've been president now. This is my 5th season as president. Surprising to be in any place that long, and people think about that, and you wonder if you stay at a place too long. I mean, how many new ideas can you really have? And the recreative energies of this place, the business about stopping every year and then redoing in a place that is, you know, images of continuity but utterly recreated, forces you, I think, to be in a constant process of renewing your understanding of the place and reinterpreting its contributions. And I think in that way, the challenges have been so renewing to me personally. And frankly, we've been on about a 20-some year renaissance here. And I think that has to do with the importance of the place in terms of what people need. I think to find a place that is so about accessing meaning is unusual. And it's so important right now. And I think we are contributing greatly to the experience of people in sort of building the kind of intellectual and emotional muscle that it takes to have a robust democracy. And so I really do believe in the contributions of this place to larger society. My favorite memories are really too many to talk about. And they're all wound up in people. You know, we talked about David McCullough, the work we did in the Soviet Union for 5 years in the late 80s was life-changing for me and for everybody that was involved in it. The opportunity to meet and work with people like Jean-Pierre Bonfou and Patty McBride in dance and Marlene Amalis in voice, and to be exposed to the work in the interreligious dialogue and the people like Karen Armstrong today and in the Hall of Philosophy. Karen is now a good friend, and so I've watched her commitment to her work and her scholarship and the sort of broader public dialogue that she invokes. And all of those have within them so many great messages and memories. It's hard to snatch one out of the air.
Well, we were very pleased to put the last 3 weeks of the season on Fora TV last year, and this year we're starting from the get-go and putting the whole 9 weeks on. What's the significance or meaning of digital video or the presentation of these events outside of these grounds for you and for the future of the institution?
Yeah, this place is so visceral, you know, tangible, and its scale is all about human contact, and I love it that way. But I do believe that if we ignore the phenomena of digital opportunities, we will reduce the impact of the institution. We can't touch as many people in this physical experience as we should, given the work we're doing. So there's a mission-related impulse to reach out. And yet it's hard because what we do is really an invitation into complexity. And so who's patient with that? Who's really interested in that? And you are. I'm so admiring of what's going on for the idea that there is a site out there that is committed to intellectual property and views it with a certain views complexity with such respect. And the fact that you can do things digitally about the way you can sort and allow access and in both short and longer ways is startling and interesting, and we're absolutely proud and delighted and grateful to be part of it.
Tom, thanks very much for your hospitality, and thanks for joining me for a chat today.
It's nice to have you here, right?